The haunting begins. In the quaint village of Ravensbrook, nestled between ancient forests and misty hills, stories of ghosts and spirits were as old as the town itself. For centuries, villagers spoke in hushed tones about spectral apparitions and haunted places. However, the most infamous story was that of the old Ravensbrook Manor. The manor, perched on a hill overlooking the village, had been abandoned for decades. Its decaying structure and broken windows made it a perfect setting for ghost stories. The locals believed the manor was cursed, haunted by the restless spirit of Lady Evelyn, a woman who met a tragic end there over a century ago. Introduction to the haunted manor. It was a moonless night when Anna and Mark decided to explore the manor. The air was heavy with anticipation and the faint rustle of leaves. Ravensbrook Manor stood like a sentinel of sorrow, its Gothic architecture bathed in the silvery light of the stars. The tales of Lady Evelyn's ghost had always intrigued Anna, an aspiring paranormal investigator, and Mark, a skeptic but supportive boyfriend, decided to join her in this endeavor. "Are you sure about this?" Mark asked, his voice betraying a hint of nervousness as they approached the manor's entrance. Anna nodded, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "We need to document everything. If the stories are true, this could be our breakthrough." Equipped with flashlights, a camera, and a digital recorder, they pushed open the creaking iron gates and stepped onto the overgrown path leading to the manor. The wind howled through the trees, as if whispering secrets from the past. Entering the manor. The grand wooden doors of the manor groaned in protest as they pushed them open. A musty smell greeted them, mingling with the scent of decaying wood and dampness. The temperature dropped drastically, and an eerie silence enveloped them, broken only by the occasional drip of water from the leaky roof. Mark switched on the camera, capturing the decaying grandeur of the manor. Dust particles floated in the air, illuminated by their flashlight beams, creating an almost magical, yet foreboding, atmosphere. "Look at this place," Anna whispered, her voice echoing through the vast entrance hall. "It's like stepping back in time." The hall was adorned with faded tapestries, cracked mirrors, and ancient furniture covered in white sheets. A grand staircase, its banister intricately carved with serpentine patterns, led to the upper floors. Anna felt a chill run down her spine as she imagined Lady Evelyn gliding down those very stairs, her ghostly form searching for something, or someone. The first signs. As they ventured deeper into the manor, strange things began to happen. Soft whispers echoed through the empty halls, and shadowy figures flickered at the edge of their vision. Anna clutched Mark's arm, her heart pounding with a mix of fear and excitement. "Did you hear that?" she whispered, her eyes wide. Mark nodded, trying to maintain his composure. "It's probably just the wind," he said, though he wasn't entirely convinced. Suddenly, a loud thud echoed from upstairs. Anna and Mark exchanged nervous glances before deciding to investigate. As they climbed the creaky stairs, the feeling of being watched grew stronger. Each step seemed to take them further away from the safety of the outside world and deeper into the heart of the haunting truth. The upper floors. The upper floors were even more decrepit than the lower ones. The wallpaper was peeling, revealing layers of paint and plaster beneath. Cobwebs adorned the corners, and the floorboards groaned under their weight. The air was thick with the scent of mold and decay. They reached a long corridor lined with closed doors. The air was musty, and the flickering light of their flashlights cast eerie shadows on the walls. Mark pointed the camera towards the end of the hallway, where a faint light seemed to be emanating from one of the rooms. "Let's check that out," he suggested, his voice barely above a whisper. As they approached the room, the light grew brighter, flickering like a candle in the darkness. When they pushed the door open, they were met with an astonishing sight. The room appeared untouched by time, with elegant furniture and a chandelier casting a soft glow. At the center of the room stood a woman dressed in a flowing white gown, her back turned to them. Anna gasped, her grip on Mark's arm tightening. "Is that?" Mark nodded, unable to take his eyes off the apparition. "Lady Evelyn," he breathed. The ghostly encounter. The ghostly figure slowly turned to face them, her eyes filled with sorrow. She seemed to glide across the floor, her movements ethereal and silent. Anna and Mark stood frozen, unable to move or speak. "You shouldn't be here," Lady Evelyn whispered, her voice echoing as if from a distant place. "This place is cursed. Leave before it's too late." Before they could respond, the room plunged into darkness, and the ghostly figure vanished. The only sound was their heavy breathing and the distant rumble of thunder outside. Anna fumbled for the flashlight and flicked it on, revealing the room now in a state of decay, just like the rest of the manor. "We need to get out of here," Anna said, her voice trembling. Mark nodded, but as they turned to leave, they found the door and slammed shut. Panic set in as they tried to force it open, but it wouldn't budge. It was as if an invisible force was holding it closed. "What's happening?" Anna cried, tears streaming down her face. Mark shook his head, frantically searching for another way out. "I don't know, but we have to find another exit." Descent into fear. Desperation drove them to explore the rest of the upper floor, hoping to find another way out. The whispers grew louder, and the shadows seemed to close in around them. It felt as though the manor itself was alive, watching their every move. They entered another room, this one filled with old books and cobweb-covered furniture. The walls were lined with portraits of stern-looking ancestors, their eyes seeming to follow Anna and Mark as they moved. Mark examined one of the bookshelves, hoping to find a hidden passage or clue. "Look at this," he said, pulling out an old journal covered in dust. Anna joined him, peering over his shoulder as he opened it. The pages were filled with handwritten notes and sketches, chronicling the manor's history and its occupants. One entry caught their attention. April 3, 1857, the curse of Ravensbrook Manor has claimed another victim. Lady Evelyn's spirit grows restless, her sorrow and anger trapping all who dare enter. "We must find a way to break the curse before more lives are lost." "This must be the key," Mark said. "If we can figure out how to break the curse, we might be able to escape." As they pored over the journal, a cold breeze swept through the room, extinguishing their flashlight. The temperature dropped even further, and they could feel a presence closing in on them. Panic-stricken, Anna fumbled for the flashlight again, but it wouldn't turn on. "Mark, what do we do?" she whispered, her voice barely audible. "We need to find the source of the curse," he replied, trying to stay calm. "Maybe there's something in the basement." With no other options, they decided to make their way to the basement, their only hope of finding a way out of the haunted manor. The journey through the darkened halls was fraught with fear and uncertainty, each step taking them closer to the truth about Ravensbrook Manor and the ghost of Lady Evelyn.